Hey y'all, and welcome to this video. Today we are going to learn how to construct one of these. This is just what we call an orbital diagram, and it's building off of the last video where the main part of the atom that we're talking about are the electrons. So in the last video we talked about how electrons are in discrete levels of energy. And so in this case, orbital diagrams are just going to be another way to show how the electrons are going to be arranged inside the or outside of the atom in discrete levels of energy. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Let's take a look at our objectives. Today we're going to construct orbital diagrams of elements. Now, each element has a discrete number of electrons, which means that they're going to have a specific orbital diagram. So all orbital diagrams it's another way again to show a model of the atom. So all of these cases right here, they all show an element with three electrons. Now it's just going about it, showing it a different way. Now all an orbital diagram it is just a pictorial description of the electrons in an atom. It's another way to show how the electrons are arranged inside and outside an atom. But in order to be able to create these, we need to know the rules. So let's just go ahead and dive right inside the rules. Now, the first rule is something called the Aufbau principle. Say it with me, Aufbau. Now, in this rule, it states that the electrons enter the lowest energy orbitals first. And in this case, you can see it based on the numbers. The lower the principal quantum number, the lower the energy. The electrons start to fill in the first level first, and then once two electrons have entered here, then it's going to move on to the second principal quantum number, the second shell, to move on to the higher energy. And this is very, very similar to the Bohr model from the last video. So the example is the order electrons follow in order to increase in order to increase in energy levels are you start at 1s, then you go to 2s, then 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, and remember after 4s we take a step back. We're now entering the D block. We start at period 3, which is a little bit lower in energy than the other blocks. So 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, and 5p. The second rule in writing in an orbital diagram is called the Pauli exclusion principle. In this rule, it just states that an atomic orbital can hold a maximum of 2 electrons, so each box is one orbital. And in this case, in each box, the electrons need to have opposite spins, denoted by having opposite signs of the arrow. Take a look here. In this case, this orbital or this entire shell has four electrons, and this orbital has been filled, but these are still open. So for this case, how you can show this is that there are 2 electrons in each orbital, and then there are opposite signs for each filled orbital. You can count how many electrons there are in this to find out what element this orbital is showing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this case, go ahead and find your periodic table and figure out which one has 8 electrons in a neutral atom. Now, the last rule is called Hund's rule, Hund's, and this rule states that we have to fill orbitals halfway first, then pairing up the electrons. So this means that in a 2p shell, for example, you're going to have to fill in one first, then the next, and then go back to add the opposite spins. Let's take a look for hydrogen. You add the top spin electron, top spin, before you add, before you fill in the orbital at the first one. So for example here, this is the incorrect way, or electrons repulse each other, so this one repel each other, so they're going to have to fill in the other another shell right here before filling in a double electron. So how this looks like as an example is we're taking a look at oxygen and nitrogen, and see nitrogen here in the 2p shell, the electrons are going to start filling it one by one before going back and filling it as an even number and opposite spins. And then you can relate this back to the electron configuration as well, because each orbital is going to refer back to one of the electron configurations. So let's go take a look at the steps for how do we draw an orbital diagram. First, we're going to use the example of chlorine. So on the back of your notes at the bottom part, the step 1, you can do this at the same time as the step 1 on both on the top and bottom. So step 1, we're going to have to find the total number of electrons. In chlorine, the atomic number is 17. Let's say it's neutral, so the number of electrons equal the number of protons. So in this case, chlorine has 17 electrons. Now, step 2, we're going to check the energy order of orbitals. According to the Aufbau principle, we need to go in order. So chlorine is going to fill in the electrons for the 1s, then 2s, 2p, 3s, and then 3p shells. Third step, you're going to draw your skeleton of your orbitals, meaning the boxes down below in the step 3. I've already put in the orbitals for chlorine there. Now you're just going to have to do step 4. Step 4 is just going to be filling in the electrons. And remember the rules, only 2 electrons per orbital. And one way you can always count is do the total number of arrows match the number of electrons in chlorine. So to check yourself, you should have an arrow going up and down, arrow going up and down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down. Then you have 5 electrons left here, so you go up, 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 and then down, down. And then this one should be single. So whenever you're done, just go ahead and check yourself at the solution station. Now go ahead and pause and practice writing the orbital diagrams for the following elements down below. And again, as always, go ahead and check on the solution station when you're done, and feel free to call me if you have any questions. Thank you guys for watching.